What's up guys, welcome to Supercars of London and welcome to a slightly delayed 2019 Happy New Year from myself. Hopefully you've had an amazing time with friends and family celebrating Christmas and seeing in the new year. Now, as I'm filming this video, it's the 31st of December. In approximately 8 hours time in that direction, there is going to be one hell of a party because every year my family get together and we throw a big party alternating between the UK and France. We are in the northeast of France. 2 years ago, I drove my satin black BMW M3 with my family, and it was then I realized just how practical that car is. Cruising over, not filling up with fuel once, but having 4 people in the car and packed in with luggage. Well, you all know that I'm currently on the hunt for my next daily, so Jaguar kindly lent me their all blacked out Nuke spec F-Pace, and this has been perfect. We're going to be getting onto that car, and more importantly, I need your guys' help. But first, let me take you on a little bit of a tour of where I've been staying for the last 5 days, and also how I have been able to disconnect from the world thanks to the lack of connectivity. This is the driveway, not exactly what we're used to in the UK, being out in the French farmlands. We are literally sharing garage space with some of the most ancient farming equipment that I think I've ever seen. Normally the gates are shut when we come here, but today, and for this week only, we have been allowed to park our cars here. And as you can see, the grass is not coping with it very well, but we've got my uncle's Mercedes C-Class estate. I helped him buy that car from Mercedes Watford, and even though the boot capacity is probably quite similar to the likes of the SUVs here, he's still gone for a roof rack to transport all of the alcohol for tonight's party. Here, we've got a really interesting car. This is a family friend's car. It is an all blacked out Porsche Cayenne, 14 years old, one owner from new, done 50,000 miles. In mint condition. The guy that owns this car also has a 1982 Honda racing bike that is still original and going up in value. So, very sensible man here. Then we've got the F-Pace, which we're going to take out. And then we've got my sister and her boyfriend's Toyota CHR, which is a cool looking thing. I think it looks really cool. The interesting thing between these two cars is we convoyed down together, both put around 60-65 pounds worth of fuel into the cars, and we were neck and neck. Fuel economy wise, we were neck and neck. And of course, 5 people in that car, 4 people in that car, but 2 kids, meaning very, very heavy luggage. We had a lot of luggage in that car, but combined, I believe that Porsche was doing around 18 miles to the gallon for the 6.5 hour drive down here from London down here, and we were averaging around 25 mpg. So in there is where the party, not actually in there, I mean that is literally an old barn, but the house over there, which I'm going to show you now, is where the party's going to happen, and then we're going to take the Jag out. And this is where the magic happens. Later on, the party is going to be inside. This is my auntie and uncle's house out in the countryside. They used to live in Paris and this was their country escape, but now they live in the UK. This is still their French country escape. And I've been coming here for as long as I can remember. For as long as I've been alive, I've been coming here on family holidays. During the summer, this place is amazing. During the winter, it is the perfect place to switch off, relax and recharge, because there is 0 phone signal and no Wi-Fi in there. So we are all as disconnected as each other, and we have to be forced to communicate, but everyone's just sitting in front of the fire. It is beautiful in there, but I think now let's go and jump in the Jaguar F-Pace and get on to the nitty-gritty of the video, because I need your help, and I need it pretty imminently. Welcome to the inside of the Jaguar F-Pace R-Sport. Now, I've got the spec sheet up because this is arguably one of the highest spec'd F-Paces I have ever seen, starting with the ever expandable and sliding panoramic roof that comes in at around £1,500. But when you consider that the heads-up display is an optional extra on this car is £1,200, I definitely know where I'd be spending my money if I only needed one. Not only that, it has got an 850 watt sound system. Now, we had some problems with the speakers at our New Year's Eve party, and it took us about a couple of days and a couple of electricians to fix the problems. It was a subwoofer problem, but also a connectivity with the phone. I'm not going to bore you with that, but we were trying to work out how much watts are in those speakers, because these are 850 surround sound, and if I look at the price now, it's £2,700, which I thought it was a little bit cheaper than that. If you want to go for the Nuke spec, it's going to cost you around £2,700, around £600 for the paint, £700 for the black pack, and then £1,200 or a little bit over £1,200 for the 20-inch 5-spoke wheels, which sounds quite expensive, but when you look at this car and compare it to other F-Pacers on the road, it's just got a totally different road presence. That's what we're going to find out right now. We're going to put it into drive. I've got 30 miles of fuel left, and that is the first topic I want to talk about. Of course it is, because we had a 4-hour drive from Calais to where we are in the northeast of France, and well, I was kind of expecting this to have a similar sort of fuel economy to the BMW M3, and it did, but then I realized that the fuel tank in this car doesn't allow for long distance driving. The fuel tank only takes around £60 worth of fuel, around 55 litres of fuel, which isn't very big when it comes down to really blasting this car across country, which is probably what it is set up to do with everything else. Doesn't really tick that box. When you then look at the CHR, which was doing similar MPG but had the same size fuel tank, we literally were getting the same range, but you expect a little bit more from a car that costs 50 grand, or you expect technology to make this car a little bit more efficient, to make the small tank last a little bit longer. Where this car excels really is the performance. Now, this being a 3-litre V6 supercharged engine, 300 PS, really gets the power down, but it's actually the dynamics of the car, the drivetrain and the chassis that bring this car to life as the sporty SUV that Jaguar wanted to build, because Jaguar are known for their sports cars. They wanted this, I feel like this is a bit like a baby Urus. Lambo needed the Urus to be a super SUV. Jaguar needed this to really be a sports car up on stilts, and I feel like they've achieved that with this. I've actually taken it off-road. Not that Jag really wanted to hear that, but there is some farmland around here, and I just chucked it in with traction control off, and it is so well balanced as you start skating across the gravel. And I actually really am impressed by this car. This time last year, I had the F-Type SVR. That was a brilliant car, but this, for everything that I need on this specific trip and going into January with the things that I've got planned, this is teeing up to be quite the daily that I wasn't expecting to fall in love with. However, I do not want this video to be a Jaguar F-Type review. I merely wanted to just share my first impressions of what I've been experiencing for the first week of driving this car. In fact, the main reason for this video, 2019, is all about the challenges, and it's all about the project cars. We know that I've got a long list of things that need fixing on the Lamborghini Murcielago to spruce it back up to as if it had just rolled off the production line. Well, up my sleeve, I've got a few other projects that need attending to, but first we've got to buy the cars. And in January and February, the challenge that is going to consume me the most is I've been given £1,000 to go and buy a car. Now, what excites me about that is seeing how much Sam has fallen in love with Ivan the Volvo, and how it has become a normal part of his life, driving that car around. That's what excites me the most. I'm going up head to head with Tim and Christian from BOTB's In the Headlights YouTube channel, and we've got a number of challenges that have not been set out, or I've not been told about yet. Now, where I need your help is I need some suggestions, because I've been on Facebook, I've been on Auto Trader, I've been on eBay, I've been on Gumtree, and yes, you can go upmarket and buy a Mercedes or a BMW 5 Series for under £1,000, which is insane. But auto gearbox, slightly sluggish, probably going to have quite high running costs, might not be good for the tasks in hand. However, I could go in the complete opposite spectrum and go for a sports car like a Mazda MX-5. There are tons under £1,000. But my idea is a little bit quirky. It might not be good for the majority of the challenges, but it might be good for one or two. And if I can win one or two and then maybe cheat on the rest, my thought process is buying my first drift car. My first drift car, I need your help. Please, can you Give me some suggestions. What is the perfect chassis to drift in? Is it better to buy a car on eBay that has already been souped up for drifting, welded diff, bigger lock, hydro handbrake, or do I go and buy a 3 Series BMW, dip the clutch and just chuck it into corners? I need your help. I've got £1,000 to spend on a car. Have you got any suggestions? That is how we're going to kickstart 2019. And why? Well, as I said, 2019 is going to be the year of project cars, and there are going to be cars added to the SOL garage coming in thick and fast. The Lamborghini taking center stage, of course, on the garage, but there are going to be a number of cars that are going to be joining the fleet very, very soon. And whilst they're not going to be a beautiful cerulean blue McLaren Senna or an Ironman spec Ford GT, 2 cars that have landed on YouTube that I'm very excited about tuning into the content for, but they're going to be cool nonetheless. They're going to be quirky, they're going to be different, but most importantly, they're going to be loud. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2019. I need your help already. Hopefully you have had an amazing time, but it is now back to work. It is now back to having fun, and let's all smash 2019 together. I can see the graph going one way, and it is up. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please take care and give this video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments what you would like to see me spend £1,000 on. This is not going to be my daily. This is going to be a pure fun car that is going to be used for the challenges to go head to head with Christian and Tim. So I'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Goodbye. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.